Gravity Falls. If you were asked to describe Gravity Falls for someone that has never seen or heard of it, well, that would be a pretty difficult task. The reason for this is that Gravity Falls is a pretty complex and intricate show. Here's how I would put it. Gravity Falls is a Disney Channel show about twin siblings, Dipper and Mabel Pines, who spend their summer in Gravity Falls, Oregon with their great uncle Stanford Pines. They soon discover that Gravity Falls is not what it seems, and it's up to the two of them, along with their friends, to uncover the secrets hidden in this small town. So sure, that's a pretty basic summary, but there is so much more that Gravity Falls has to offer than simply solving mysteries. Now that Gravity Falls has ended, it's time we look back and see what it was that made this show so big, and how it got as large of a fan base as it ended up having. What made it so special? And the most important question is, now that Gravity Falls is over, will it still be as good, and will it still be able to attract new fans? Let's find out. The first thing we need to discuss are the characters. No matter how good the plot may be, if the characters aren't good, the show will not be enjoyable. The main characters for Gravity Falls are Dipper, Mabel, Grunkle Stan, Seuss, and Wendy. Dipper is arguably the protagonist of Gravity Falls. He's the one who finds the journal, and the one who focuses on solving the mysteries. He's also the one who has the most plot centered around him. In terms of personality, Dipper is inquisitive. He's always looking for answers and trying to figure things out. He's one of the more serious characters in the show, but he has a lot of fun and silly moments as well. Of course, Dipper wouldn't be as great of a character if it wasn't for Mabel. Mabel is quirky and energetic. She's always got a smile on her face and is always trying to help out in her own special way. She's quite mischievous, but she's very good-hearted, and she always has the best intentions in mind. Her personality is what draws a lot of people towards this show, and her energy is definitely a driving point for a lot of the series' humor. Grunkle Stan runs the Mystery Shack, and he's the caretaker for Dipper and Mabel while they're staying in Gravity Falls. At first, Grunkle Stan can seem kind of like a jerk to Dipper and Mabel, but it's clear he does care about them, and he shows it in his own special way. It's also nice that throughout the show, there are hints that there is more to Grunkle Stan than we are initially told. This all builds together nicely. Grunkle Stan is also responsible for a lot of the adult jokes that Gravity Falls is well known for. Seuss is the handyman at the Mystery Shack. He's very lighthearted and often acts like a man-child. Seuss's relationship with the kids is a nice one since he cares for them and is always willing to help them out with their next mystery. He idolizes Stan a lot. Seuss also adds to the show by being able to reflect off of the kids. He and Mabel especially get along well since they have similar attitudes towards many of the situations. They love to have fun and play games together, but he also knows when it's time to be serious. Finally, we have Wendy. Wendy is the laid-back teenager of the group. She's described as being the coolest person ever, and that is very much true since there is nothing that Wendy can't or won't do. Wendy often handles some of the most dangerous things on the adventures with Dipper and Mabel. As for her side characters, Gravity Falls has some of the best side characters and recurring characters in a show. Every single character is unique and adds so much to the story. Whether they be close to the main characters, such as Candy and Grenda, or they're some of the characters that were used for jokes, like Toby Determined or Old Man McGucket. Each character feels like a real person, and they all have their own story to tell. They might not be the focus, and they may only show up every once in a while, but you really become interested in all of these characters, and they make Gravity Falls feel like somewhere you could actually go, visit, and meet all of these characters. They feel that real at times. And this is most likely because the creator, Alex Hirsch, based the characters in Gravity Falls off of people that he knew in his real life. The antagonists are also very well handled. Sure, there aren't many reoccurring antagonists, but the two main antagonists, Gideon Gleeful and Bill Cipher, are really good villains. They always have something up their sleeves, and you're often left wondering, how can they possibly recover from this defeat? Then you'll be amazed when you find out what's next to come. Another thing that helps Gravity Falls be such a great show is the fact that it has one of the best continuities I have ever seen. Almost every single element that is introduced in one episode comes back in another. Even things that only seem to be a setup for a joke end up being used later on. Perhaps the only thing that has never made another appearance was the President's Key that Dipper was given in one of the first few episodes. But other than that, it has really good continuity, and this continuity makes it feel like one thing is connected to another. It's all one coherent story rather than a bunch of several episodes that are connected. The overarching story is very well set up. Every single plotline gets handled and is addressed throughout the show. Just to name a few, there's Dipper's crush on Wendy, Pacifica and Mabel's rivalry, Blendin Blandin and his grudge against the Pines, Stan's secret. All of these things have episodes centered around them, and they all have very nice resolutions by the end. With all of this put together, you're able to have fun and silly episodes transition nicely into the darker and more serious episodes. In general, the first season had a lot of fun episodes, and the second season has very plot-heavy and serious episodes. This tone shift is well handled, and it feels natural given the way things were already progressing in the story. Everything is set up and executed in a way that makes the transition, such as the transition from the first season to the second season, smooth, natural, and real. So, other than having diverse and interesting characters, along with having a coherent story filled with amazing continuity, what else has helped Gravity Falls become such a popular show? Now, there are several things that draw people to this show. For example, Gravity Falls is filled with several scenes that have turned into internet memes, which gets many people interested in it when they see it out of context. It also has a lot of songs in it, Though unlike shows like Steven Universe or Phineas and Ferb, the songs are just there and they don't usually move the story along or develop the characters. But that's not to mean they're not good, because the songs are really good, and there are several songs that would be great if they were extended and put into an album together. Just name a few songs: there's Disco Girl, Straight Blanchin', Goat and a Pig, Cash Money, and there's so many more. Perhaps the biggest thing that made Gravity Falls a huge phenomenon though is the mysteries hidden inside the show, and all of the hidden messages. With Gravity Falls, each viewer gets to be Dipper and Mabel, and solve the mysteries hidden in Gravity Falls. There are often hidden messages in each episode, and that is amplified in the second season, where they have a card flash at the end of each episode with a code that you have to find a hidden meaning after you decipher it. The overarching story that is in Gravity Falls is filled with foreshadowing and clues. There are sometimes even clues that are left to distract from the truth. This makes the show interactive, and was how so many Gravity Falls fans came together. There were thousands of theories created using the clues that we were given, and the show kept going, more theories were being created. Previous ones were confirmed or denied, and they just kept building. This is how the community was created. Fans of the show came together to try to figure out what was going to come next, to try to figure out what was leading up to. This though brings me to a problem with the show, and it's only a problem now that the show has ended. The mysteries and clues were fun to find and theorize about, but now that the show's over, there isn't anything really left to theorize about. Sure, by the end, not every question we had was answered, but that was to be expected, and it isn't at all disappointing. The questions we wanted to have answered were, and whatever was left unknown, it's fine being left unknown, it doesn't matter that much. Now that the show's over, it's harder to get new fans into the show. Sure, they can binge watch the entire show, but is that the best way to experience Gravity Falls? When it was airing, there were several times that the show was on hiatus. Sometimes it would be only one episode for 3 months. There was even a year-long hiatus between Season 1 and Season 2. As annoying as it was to wait, the hiatus is what helped make this show grow. Because during those times, that was when most people came up with theories, and when the community started to grow. Now that someone could start and finish Gravity Falls in one weekend, is that a good thing? Can new people still fall in love with the show the way others did, if they don't have to wait and spend so long rewatching and analyzing every episode? Honestly, I think Gravity Falls will still be as good even if it's over. It might be a bit harder to get someone to start watching it, but once they start, if it's something they'll enjoy, it's something they will enjoy regardless. Looking for clues, solving mysteries, deciphering codes, it's nice, but it's not what the show is about. Ultimately, this is a show about characters and growth. Like I said in the beginning, there is more to Gravity Falls than just solving mysteries, and that's true for the show and for the fans. Overall, Gravity Falls is cheeky. It's sad that it's over, but it had a proper ending, unlike so many other mystery shows out there. This show has some of the best characters I've ever seen. All of them grow, change, and they become so close to the viewer's heart. The plot is well handled, it's coherent, and it's always setting up for what's next to come in the most subtle ways possible. I definitely recommend it to everyone. And if you're going to watch it for the first time, don't watch it all at once. Watch it in bits and pieces, take breaks, because that's the best way to experience it. Take your time and really get to know these characters. Let me know what you think of Gravity Falls, and let me know any fond memories you have with this show. Just as the summer is set in, Gravity Falls has reached its end. Wait, summer? Wasn't there another Disney Channel cartoon set in the summer that recently ended? Oh well, that's another review for another day. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.